If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy in Hamilton, 2026 could be it. Buyers have options, sellers don't have the leverage they used to, and prices are better than they've been in a long time. But before you make any decisions, let's break down the numbers in the Hamilton market update for January 2026. But first, I just want to let you know that this video is part of a collective of agents across North America who are all doing market reports. If you'd like to find out what's going in other markets, look below in the description and you'll see links to those videos. January tends to be one of those months where the stats look quiet. So some people might think there's nothing happening in the market right now, but when you look under the hood, certain neighborhoods are very active and smart buyers are taking advantage. By now, most people realize we're way past the frenzied market of 2022, but we're also not in a free fall like some have predicted and maybe you've gathered from some headlines. Inventory has built up, giving buyers time and options. And sellers are getting a bit of a reality check. Homes are sitting on the market longer, so pricing and presentation matter more than ever. I know this may not be breaking news for anybody who's been waiting to get into the market, but it is information that matters. I've been working on a series of videos about how buyers are re-entering the market in 2026. I'll link the first one here. Now let's get into the numbers. And I want to flag one thing right away. Prices don't tell the full story. In January, well-priced homes still sold very close to asking price if they were priced correctly. Meanwhile, overpriced homes sat and sat and sat. And this is the ongoing saga. Smart sellers are finally realizing that they're never going to get what their neighbors sold for a couple years ago. And especially if you're not renovated and move-in ready. If your home is dated or needs a bit of work, you're going to have to price accordingly. And that's why two similar homes on the same street can have drastic different outcomes. This isn't the market where you throw it up on MLS and hope for the best. You'll quickly get ignored and lost in the sauce down below with everyone else. Like I said, price matters, marketing matters, presentation matters. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Okay, so the average price in Hamilton across all the regions was $810,000. That's down 4% from the same time last year. Remember that this is the average of all the areas across Hamilton, so areas like Ancaster and Dundas tend to bring that average up. Semis were at an average of $580,000, which is actually well below the average for townhomes, which was $640,000, down 5% from the same time last year. The main reason there, I think, is that there's a lot more newer townhomes and some of the semis are older and are selling at a lower price point. Condos averaged at $445,000, so definitely some deals to be had there. And across the board, the average price was $732,000 for all home types across all areas. And in Burlington, the average price was $1,063,000. Haldimand County wasn't even $625,000. And Niagara North was just about $700,000, which is the same average for Hamilton Mountain, which generally tends to be the area with the most activity, though I'm seeing some fantastic deals there these days. Like we talked about, homes are sitting on the market much longer than they used to, especially if they're not priced correctly. And in that case, you could be sitting hundreds of days before you either snap into reality or your realtor cancels your listing. But for the homes that do sell, they're selling in an average of 57 days. So that's a big mindset shift as a seller. If you are going onto the market and you're trying to do things right, you can expect to wait anywhere between a couple weeks for those homes that really fly off the shelf to 57, 60 days. With over 1,600 homes for sale in the city of Hamilton, buyers have a lot to choose from. And yes, Hamilton Mountain is the most active area, but East Hamilton and Stony Creek have a lot to choose from. And with interest rates finally stabilized, smart buyers are getting into the market now before spring when everyone else decides it's time to come back. And I'm not saying that this spring market is going to be crazy by any means, but I do think there is some certainty coming back in based on conversations I've been having. The tariff fear has kind of settled a bit. I know it's still going on, but we're learning to get back to living our lives. Like I said, rates are more stable and prices, though they've come down and may still a little bit more, are not necessarily going to come crumbling down that much further, I don't believe. We may see a little bit more of a correction through the year, but again, don't try to time the bottom. So if you are someone who is considering buying in 2026, remember that the best homes are selling and sometimes quickly. So if you do find a place that you like, don't just sit there thinking you have all the power in the world and it's going to sit there until you're ready to come to an offer. There's other people who are out there thinking the same thing as you, and if they decide to make a move before you do, you'll be left sitting looking at what's left. Just because there's a lot of homes for sale doesn't mean they're all good homes, which is why many of them have been sitting long. Some are overpriced, yes, but some are just not that prime move-in ready home that most buyers are looking for. If you're looking to do a renovation project in update a home and get a good deal on a place like that, there's lots to choose from as well. But that's not necessarily describing the average buyer right now. All that being said, though, you do have the majority of the power. You can take your time, you can negotiate, you can walk away if it's not the right deal. And sellers, please, 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 get a good realtor for one and listen to them. This is not really the time to give your second cousin who just got his license in Toronto the chance to sell your Hamilton Mountain home for $30,000 above market value. Pricing correctly is critical, as well as presentation and marketing. That's what's going to get your home sold. Hope is not a strategy. Remember that. So yes, January 2026 wasn't a banner month, but it wasn't expected to be so. I think it does give us a little bit of insight in what the coming months may look like, and I think we will see activity pick up a little bit as we move towards spring. Let me know your thoughts below, and if I can be of help, feel free to reach out.